Yeah, I can. Can you? Okay, amazing. Oh yeah, yeah.
All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome to
Hey,
Seed of the Week recap. I got the light up here. If anyone in chat wants to join either of us as well, hit the request join button at the top of the stream, and I will get you added in. Flintlock is only here to say I healed 40 from Ornithopter. Nice, nice.
I was watching his run. It was amazing. Yeah.
Ornithopter with White Beast. Good
I mean,
amount of damage.
Ornithopter literally saved him because in the end he had nothing, no block. Everything was exhausted, and he was taking heart, like the bit of
Oh,
death damage, and he killed by having more HP than he needed to play all these cards. So
feed
Ornithopter
maxing. Yeah.
definitely saved him there.
So let me just toss that in. Light and I were just talking before I got stream up. It's kind of hard to see these on stream. I'm aware. I'm not sure how to like make it much larger, but you can just open the doc for yourself and kind of follow along. Is probably the easiest way to go about it. Clips was nuts. Not so much for me. I was not in the path of directly in the path of totality, and it's cloudy as shit outside, so it just kind of got dark for a few seconds and then stopped, which still cool. Still cool to see. I hope
I mean, it's
some of the rest of
10
you have
p.m.
a good
where
thing.
I am, so
Oh,
it's night, and I had a thunderstorm, so
oh boy.
that's what happens.
Oh, doubly not in the best shape for it. Unfortunate. Um, but yeah, when we're talking about just tanking a crap ton of heart damage. Um, wait, Flintlock, are you not? Oh,
He
did you
didn't.
lose
No,
Reaper?
no. He didn't lose. He didn't take the feed.
Didn't take the feed. So you were just
No.
tanking it with just raw
Yes.
HP.
Yes.
Wow. Reaper?
Yeah, there was a Reaper. He has 80 HP. He had he had a waffle,
Hmm.
and there was something else that gave him HP. But yeah, it wasn't a feed deck. He upgraded
Nice.
Bash by
Nice.
now.
Bash team.
Yeah.
Yeah. Magnil, the still the undisputed king of the feed maxing on this seed, 246. Missing 250. SMHing my head at that. But yeah, no, insane how fat you can get with a floor zero feed and an early dual wield and a hell of a lot of patience go with
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh yeah.
So good job, Magnil, if you're lurking. Very big clad. Thumbs up. Also, these weren't just wins. This was everybody who had a feed because stop sooner. But yeah, most people in the 170 to 200 range. Bishop got his feed late, not from Niao. Um, um, Milo took bites at one point, so thus the big tank. Yeah, everyone else in and around there.
I had 181.
181. Okay.
Um, just for anyone who doesn't know, I forgot the red key, which hasn't happened to me for years. But yeah, when I was playing, I
It's
was a
always
little
the
bit
most fun
nervous. I was
ones.
streaming. Yeah, yeah,
Cause,
yeah.
cause
I
you just
also
sort of
beat
like get
both
into the yeah.
bosses. Yeah, but
Just,
then I just died.
oh well, happens to the best of us.
Hmm.
Unfortunate. Um, yeah, it's also partly why I like Run Resumer is for when I have those like I'm a dumbass moments. I can just go back afterwards and be like, okay, so what if the loss is still recorded, it's still official, but I can have my way to check up on it at the very least.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, handy, handy little mod. But yeah, the swap and the upgrade turned out to be pretty similar actually in terms of win rates. It seemed like early on a lot of the swappers were like, okay, this feed is very free. Um, but some of the later runs that came in especially sort of tipped the scales the other direction. Yeah, more of a mixed bag by the end. Floor Zero feed helps a lot, but you do still have to pilot it to a win.
That is true. Yeah,
Yeah,
but also the person who took 20% HP for a curse.
yeah.
I
One one person,
Yeah, I
and they made
respect
it to
this.
Act Four. So
Yeah,
good on
yeah.
them. Good on them. Um, but yeah, that was that was indeed that breakdown. Yeah, max HP for curse. One person was cooking this seed.
It's true.
Uh, sad, not dork noises. This one.
No, they didn't win. They died in Act 4, unfortunately. I can't hear you.
I thought I fixed this shit. God
Oh,
damn.
I can hear you now.
Looks like we're implementing the fucking counter again. I honestly don't know what to do about that one. Like, it's just very stupid. Uh, anyway, uh, what was I saying? I was saying that we got hexed, and I think the pathing tab makes it the most obvious why. If you look at everyone who upgraded Bash here, now that it's sorted like that, we get some pretty consistent choices. Some people took the extra elite here, some people took the Rastay gravy, but like generally pretty consistent. And then there's us who just decided, fuck it, we're gonna YOLO the elite path in Act One anyway, which like it felt fine at the time, right? And like I've heard a bunch of other people since then call it the insane path. We weren't the only ones overall who took it. The late swap took that path as well, but we were the only ones of the bash upgraders at least to go for burner. And where's the other chart that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I
Uh,
took the burner in Act
this
2
one, yeah,
with Philosopher's Stone.
yeah. In general, this being people who got the green key on floor 7, 24, and 40, seems like things did not go particularly well for people who tried the early burner. Notably, this is just people who obtained green keys, so it doesn't log if you died fighting the burner. That's just a
Hmm.
limitation of the data that is stored with the run history files. Flintlock, thank you for the sub. I appreciate that. And Ari, I forgot to thank you earlier because you resubscribed during the starting soon screen, but thank you as well for the 3 months and all of the wonderful support. It's great having you both around and hanging out. I'm glad that you're enjoying Seed of the Week, Flintlock, as well. It's been great to have you participating. I will stop rambling now. Thank you for the organization spreadsheets. You are very welcome.
I will second
I
this. Thank you so much for the organization of this. Seed of the Week is one of the most exciting things in Slay the Spire for me in like a lot of time. So thank you, and thank you for
it's
being here. Thank you for talking about it. It's amazing.
it's been so cool to see the community uptake on this one. Honestly, when I started it out, I was like, it'd be really cool if I got like 5 people doing this. That might be a little bit a bit of a reach, but I can maybe rope 5 friends into this. We'll see how it goes, and then it's just like casually like we're up to what 40 now, and that includes people like Zeknar, Baylor, Papa, like yeah, heavy hitters.
Yeah.
It's been fun. I rarely need an excuse to make overcomplicated spreadsheets as well. I just find it fun, but this is as good an excuse as any for it. Um, yeah, bunch of recap streams regardless. Yeah, it's cool to see some of the discussion around it. Um, just like things that people have been picking up on. Yeah, 100% of your last one runs, you're the heavy hitter. It's true. It's true. Can't argue. Can't argue with statistics. Congrats again on that win, Flintlock. Actually, maybe this is a good time to peek at winning decks in general. I tried to like bucket them last time, and I tried to bucket them this time as well, but it seemed like there were just some very distinct of like people who got feed from Niao um, ended with very fat clads, and that was sort of the plan. Like there was somewhat different directions to go with it, but it's like your block plan against the heart is I have like 150 to 200 max HP or more in Magnill's case, um, and just sort of general clad Exodia things a lot of the time along with that. And if you didn't do that, you probably went infinite, either with
Yeah.
double dropkick or with madness.
Yeah.
And
Sorry, how I feel it happened, like people either took the upgraded bash, and most of the people who took upgraded bash then picked up a couple of drop kicks and got an infinite, or
yep,
people picked up the feed and also tried, maybe, like I tried to make drop kick infinite, but I only had one, and the only time I had a second one was when Infernal Blade gave me
right.
against the time meter. So basically, I scaled with strength in the end. So people who took feed were probably trying to make an infinite, or just scaled with max HP, with strength, and so on. And people who took upgraded bash mostly went infinite, I think.
Yeah. Um, yeah, there were a few people who took the demon form and did some strength things, like Strength the Reaper, also showing up. A decent amount. Demon form Reaper, Demon form Reaper, Demon form Reaper. Did everyone who had Demon form in their deck have a Reaper? Apparently. Huh. That
I
is a
mean,
good pair of cards to have together, apparently. The amazing insights that you get from Scene of the Week recap streams, Strength and Reaper are good together, turns out. Um, yeah, everyone also, something I noticed and mentioned in Discord, everyone who won either boss swapped or had corruption in their deck as well. There was nobody
or
who
both.
won not on a boss swap without corruption. Corruption is a good card. Most people took it, to be fair, so it's like not that crazy of a sample.
Your audio is broken again. I'm sorry.
Why is it? Goddamn. I don't know exactly when it cut out, so I'll just go back. Risk saying duplicated demon form in the heart and dual wielded reaper for the heart solution. Hell yeah. Were you in the fat clads bucket? Um, no, you were in the infinite bucket. Flintlock saying, did end up watching my VOD, took similar cards. We took right path, took left, entered text with full health and lost most of it, entered with already fairly low and lost all. Yeah, I mean, RNG is part of it, right? RNG is definitely part of it. We, like, Wet and I had really, really awful draws in both Sentries and Hexa. We bottom decked Carnage out of the reshuffle versus Sentries, which was really, really bad. And then in Hexa, our turn one was just like a bunch of defends and a Dark Embrace that didn't do anything. And it like extra didn't do anything because we also had the Ascender's Bane in our turn one hand. Um, so RNG definitely played a part, but I am very hesitant to blame everything on RNG. Like it's yeah, we did drop out at Feel No Pain against Sentries. It's true, and that's what got us through Sentries. But the problem is um then we didn't have the power pot left for Hexa, and that would have been really, 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 really nice for Hexa. Not necessarily Feel
Of
No Pain,
course.
but like to have a power.
Sound. Sound still doesn't work. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now no.
Just it just changed again. It just changed again. I didn't click on anything. I don't understand.
Oh
Okay, can
yes.
you hear me?
Now I
Is
can,
this
yes.
okay? Now you can.
Yeah.
Dear God. What was I talking about? I was talking about pathing choices. Thank God the streamer doesn't record music or anything. That'd be a disaster. Yeah, ridiculous, absurd. Um, I mean that honestly, that's probably part of why my audio settings are so fucked. Because like, I'm pointing my mic at too many different places depending on what I'm doing, and Windows probably just gets confused. I don't know. Technology is garbage. The end.
That is true.
Yeah, blame Microsoft. Easy. It just changed again. Why does it do this? I hate my life. Um. So yeah, okay. That's what we were talking about. Is Neo Feed or Infinite, and some of them were like 11th hour infinites with the late madness pickups. Um, Risk saying super infinite in the other direction, no heart solution until Act 4. Definitely another way you can go about this run. I think a few people were touch and go until pretty late in the run. There was a couple here that I didn't really know how to bucket, and granted, I wasn't able to watch the full runs of any of these. I guess of only Zeknar. I don't think the other two were streamed. Um, so if anybody here did manage to see Zeknar's whole run and have insights on sort of like how it came together, how you might categorize it, even if not directly in these buckets, I would be curious to hear. But yeah, um, is incredibly verbose comments. Anyone buying Madness? I don't think so. I'm pretty sure everyone just got it from Winding Halls. Um, where's the yeah yeah six people picking up Madnesses from Winding Halls. Oh, you bought one. Interesting, interesting, interesting.
I
Um,
didn't encounter Whiting Halls, I think, but uh, yeah, I didn't have a
yeah, you
madness.
only got
When I
one of them.
At one point I was like, "What is my scaling?" I had a corruption, but that's pretty much it. And then I found two spot weaknesses in Exhume,
Mhm.
and it was enough for the
Mhm.
Act 3 bosses. Totally enough. But yeah, it was at the
Yep.
end of Act 3 when I realized I have like 181 max HP, but that's it. I don't have anything else.
Yep.
But yeah.
How do you think you would have fared against the heart if you hadn't forgotten Red Key?
I would definitely win. Like I had full
Yeah.
HP. I think. Do you have the losing decks and the losing like?
Not
Uh,
organized cleanly this way, but
because
like
unfortunately, I
basic
have
card
played
list.
the first day of the seed of the week, like a week ago. I don't totally remember what
Right.
happened, but I was having like 12 to 15 strength. I had corruption. I had a lot of like strength scaling attacks, and there was a block plan for sure. So I
Mm,
think I'd win.
unfortunate. Well, congrats on the pseudo win then
Yeah, yeah.
of the like in
I mean, it
between.
said victory in the end, so
Um,
yeah.
Missed a big chunk of what did my audio cut out again?
No, no, no. I think just
Oh, of
talking that
content.
just
Yeah,
came
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, fair. Oh gosh. Doing the silent seed for a bit. Please no spoil. Please no spoil. Do not tell me anything about it. I have not done my run of it yet. And this week at
Same.
least it will be my run and not a team not dork run. But is not feeling great and might be backing away from Seed of the Week stuff in general anyway. But yeah, no spoil. I hope your run was good. I will hear at some point either way. And exclamation mark Discord. Um, oh, accidentally click the join button. Fair enough. I will remove you from the queue. Um, yeah, exclamation mark Discord if you guys want to talk about the latest seed in a spoilers allowed channel. I think most of you who would want to are already in there, but you know, it's a thing. Uh,
Yeah.
what else did I want to show? Heavy events breakdown is new and snazzy. Most people taking just the 5 max HP on this one. Um, Queen
One
Cheese
banana.
asked in Discord, managed to get the full heal out of the banana, because getting it a little bit later after some advanced hallways and such. Um, a bunch of people getting the champions belt as well, and there was some early shops for removals. How much of the sheet generation have you managed to automate? Most of it. Almost all of it. The only parts that aren't automated are the winning decks piece is still manual, and then like grouping things together, like on the paths page. It just spits out everybody's runs in order, and then I kind of drag and drop them over to say, okay, let's put everyone who took this Niao together. But pretty much everything else is automated.
Amazing.
Um, which is good because I would not be able to do this much shit by hand every week. That would be insane with this many people participating. Yeah, banana tasty. Um, and I was looking for this tab because people taking the box on floor 2 or 3, and there was a floor 5 shop where a lot of people were removing curse
Yeah, I think
there for
Flintlock did that.
one
He took the box,
about it
took the
later.
gem
Yeah,
belt, and removed the curse. Yeah.
yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know if anyone wants to like speak or chat about your thoughts on box there of how it worked out or didn't. But yeah, best champ belt you ever had. Hell yeah, love to see it. um you're a boxer, skip box but took the shop and did just other stuff at the shop. Probably stupid. Could be. I don't know how much gold you had at the time. Um, Bash plus, Uppercut plus, Shockwave, and a really good decision to buy a Fear Pot and turn block 4x deck. Metallicized Gang, not clicking
Oh, I
Cloud
had a
Pots
metallicize, by the way. Yeah.
with Corruption. Oh, you mean at the end of Act 1, you mean? Wait, no, where's the Boss Relics tab? Here. Like the end of Act 1 going um, box versus the other non-box things. Um, I mean, looks like Astrolabe pickers did have a better time in Act 1 on average. Obviously, if you labed from Meow, then you don't get that one. But Bookshelf seeing 100% win rate boss relic. It's true. Literally free energy from the one and only Bookshelf who had the 5 head idea to take Sozu with White Beast statue. And clearly it was optimal because it worked and he won. So make of that what you will. Busted Crown also doing Busted Crown things. Also sample size of 1 because I think most of us just, yeah, don't click on that. Um, yeah. Uh, Lab doing good. P Box doing okay. Who clicked it? Exploding Cow, and they made it to Awakened One. No, deck is perfect. Take crown. Yeah. Um, Dripper Gaming pretty hard as a whole. There is, I guess, some sampling bias here if you make it to end of Act 2 in the first place. How the deck was like when they clicked it. I could figure that out, but it would be too much effort, so I'm not going to. If anyone else feels like parsing that out from the run history files, they are linked in the main sheet, like the folder full of them. So by all means, feel free to do your own analyses. Yeah.
I am the one who clicked the
River
cursed
gaming.
key.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
One
didn't
of the
click on.
few.
Yeah, because when in Act 2 I had a lot of max HP, but then I took Burning Elite, and then it was a max strength book of stab, max HP book of stabbing, I think, and then it was the Slavers, and I lost like 97 HP total on those. So after the Act 2, I was
Wow.
like, I don't trust in Coffee Dripper. I'm pretty afraid. I had like 2 HP in the end of like Slavers fight. I think it was 2 HP or something. Yeah, that was it.
Yep.
So I didn't take Coffee Dripper. I took the Cursed Key, and I don't remember what happened next, but I don't think it was a problem. I also probably had a Norma Mori at one point.
Hmm.
So Cursed Key was like free. What is this
Nice.
damage?
Um,
Damage.
yeah, Flintlock saying every winning deck had a shockwave. Great card, a lot of us had corruption. I'm pretty sure there were 2 shockwaves in the Pandora's box as well as part of that. But yeah, the cards tab, also a new one. Um, so in terms of how to interpret this, uh, I figured like 2% stats were interesting here. One of them was just how many of the winning decks had the card. Ascender's Bane, obviously the best card in the entire world. Every winning deck had Ascender's Bane in it. Stats do not lie. But also, 16 losing decks had Ascender's Bane. So people who picked Ascender's Bane had a 52% win rate, and the average win rate was also 52%. Um, I guess that's pretty much. But yeah, also stats if you want to follow along on your own instead of looking at the screen version because I can't make it any bigger than that, unfortunately.
Oh
Um,
wow, someone took
but
a
yeah,
sadistic
so
nature. Huh.
someone did in fact take a sadistic nature. Um, but yeah, uh, the so the column M here, the versus average win rate is um, like a lot of winning cards, a lot of winning decks had this card, and not a lot of losing decks had this card. This in a sense either meaningfully boosted your win rate or like some kind of sampling bias if you're more likely to click this card if you're in good shape and winning and such already. However you want to interpret, but either way, Shockwave, good card. Winners had it, every winner had it. Not that many losers had it. Good stuff. If you go down here to cards like Limit Break, is there weren't only 29% of winning decks had a limit break in it, but they did disproportionately well. Of you did not pick a limit break in the first place if you were in a losing position, or however you want to interpret that. Of people know when to click limit break, I guess is the takeaway from here. Of like, yeah, the
Yeah,
stuff
I
down
see
near
the
the bottom
spot
when it's
weakness
only like
here. Sorry for interruption. I see a spot weakness, and there is one losing deck, and it's mine, I think. So spot
mm,
weakness is, yeah, quite good. I also have a cat
yeah. Retreat, I'm refunding you on that
in
one
my
because
deck.
I cannot make my camera big right now. I don't even know what I'm supposed to be disappointed about. But I hope you are well, friend. Kitty break, kitty break. Ah, you guys didn't even have to redeem it. It's free from the light.
Yeah.
Are you a dog or a cat person? Nice, 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 nice. I might add some like Easter egg survey questions like that going forward. Actually, that sounds like fun. Um, One of the 6% who took Thunderclap and won. Nice. What light through yonder window breaks? La light. Good to see you wet. Um, but yeah, when we're my point being, when you're looking at the bottom of the sheet and it's just like really small sample sizes, I wouldn't read into these percentages all too much. One thing I did find interesting though is the 0-4 on bytes for this seed. Is it came up a few
Oh,
times and
interesting.
nobody who picked up bytes managed to win on this one. Um, which yeah, I don't know if anyone here in chat was one of those 4. Um, to just speak
I
to
might
like
have picked the
how the run
bites.
went
No, I
from there.
didn't.
I know it was a hell of a lot of max HP lost for the one person who got floor 0 feed. Um, Beyond that, yeah, I'm not. Might sucks conclusion. factual proof, evidence. What are you gonna do? Cleave also sucks, but that one's a little bit less surprising, I think. Um, but yeah, shout outs to the good cards in sort of double green near the top of the list. Shockwave, amazing. Second Wind, amazing. Dark Embrace, embracing, amazing. Burning Pact, great. Disarm, great. Reaper, impervious, power through. Um, yeah, I don't think there are any huge surprises there. They're like just really good clad cards. Carnage was, not that much of a boost, but that's because like freaking everybody took it. I think some people removed it later, but where's the Act
I
One?
lost it to
This guy.
falling, and I
Um,
was happy.
yeah, we have not seen anywhere near this much consensus on floor one picks on any other seed of the week seed, which I think is kind of hilarious. Like everyone clicked the Carnage pretty much. Um, so yeah, how was bloodletting seen? I'm not sure. I Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. I
Maybe that's
could
from the one who took the
try
curse
to
for
look into it and see
max
if there.
HP. Could it be?
Yeah, maybe. Um,
Oh, potions.
Wait, I guess I can check from the uh, not the path detail, the choices detail. Who got the bloodletting? It was the person who did the max HP. So
Yeah,
good theorizing on that one. Probably affected card reward somehow. Potion was sword boomerang plus uppercut plus carnage. Uh, yeah, I didn't know either, but I think that's the most likely explanation there. Ailments of the physical and existential sort. Well, I hope both of them clear up for you soon, Wet. Sucks. What are you gonna do? Uh, um, Bash being in the negatives was kind of funny. Of part of me feels like this one is more correlation than causation. Of if you are ahead of curve enough that you can afford to be removing Bash, then you're probably winning. Um,
yeah,
but just sort of an interesting stat that popped out. Yeah. Um, smaller decks on this one than average compared to previous runs, which again I think is unsurprising given the number of people who went infinite, either double dropkick or madness related infinites. Like they're small decks. So yeah. Lord Bash, where is he? He fell. True. Um, yeah. Speed chart, potato, slow boy. Um, I had to add a second chart for all the winners this time because just like a big clunch of people. So if you're curious how speedy you were compared to average, there you go. And since Pride One is not here to defend himself, I will call out that he keeps demanding a recount because Twitch chat was being distracting and stuff. So fair is fair. But yeah, cheering makes your runs go from 1 hour to 3. Relatable, very relatable. We looked at this
absolutely.
chart
Yeah.
already. Um, the damage one, I feel like this is more interesting of a if you want to dig into like specific people's runs to be like, where did stuff kind of go sideways. Looking at it at a glance, it's like there's just too much data here to to make sense of. If anybody saw like interesting things in this tab that you want to highlight, let me know and I will pull it back up. But that one I think is just sort of there for poking at in general later. Same with these top charts of they were interesting when there was only like 5 or 6 runs in here when I first put the charts together. Now they're just kind of like insane looking. The summaries are cool. I think is most people taking 2 elites in Act One, a couple going for 3. Winner for most damage taken in the heart. Congratulations. Uh, Big fat clad rejoice. Serial bars taking a lot of early damage after unorthodox Neo. Yeah, um, yeah, I mean, having like max HP is not a Neo bonus that helps your output, and taking the curse for it really hurts your early output. So yeah, not surprising at all. At least in terms of until being able, I presume, removing it at some point early-ish on. Uh, actually, let me check the check with the paths. Yep, had the floor 5 shop there, and that's probably the 3 hallway fights where they got owned, removed the curse, and then things got considerably better for the rest of Act 1. So, yeah, kind of a cool highlight. Like 129 damage to heart with base clad HP. Jeez. Yeah, there was a reason I assumed you had feed. Um, Congrats on Reaper, and you had the dual wield Reaper. Or no, you said demon form, dual wield demon form for a big fat Reaper.
I think
Um,
both.
oh, or
He,
both.
they said that like
Dual wielded the Reaper and dual the just demon
duplicated
form.
demon
Okay,
form. Yeah,
even yeah, yeah. Much healing, very well. Also dual wielded Reaper. Oh, dupe potted demon form, dual wielded Reaper. Gotcha, 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 gotcha. Yeah, HP go burr archetype. When it works, it works. Yeah. Um, and Pun Man getting in there as well, but also with the extremely fat clad, so defect owns. Just wait another week or so for the next defect seed, I suppose. Also, funny the count here on just like the people who were really committed to feed maxing over here at 8 hallways in Act 4, and everyone else taking 5 or less. Sort of a funny trend, but um, yeah, just general pathing summary stuff. I'm not sure if anyone had like thoughts on notable pathing decisions between key points or based on map or what have you. But as a sort of general overview, I guess
I'm
that's the
again
thing.
speaking about Flintlock Run because it was the one that I watched like yesterday or the day before yesterday, and he was trying to go to as many shops as possible to find the medical kit because
Mm.
his infinite was ready, but like medical kit would make it for sure. And so I think I see the number of shops, and there is a person who took 3 Act 3 shops, and it might be Flintlock. And it was a good thing. He went to so many shops because like he didn't find the medical kit, but yeah, the pathing was shops, then everything else.
And what? I'm sorry. What made the med kit so critical as a
He had
really
5 or 6
class
attacks.
for this?
So to go infinite, one more card and the infinite breaks. So the medical
Right.
kit with Dark Embrace with Feel No Pain would help immensely and activate infinite earlier.
But just regular card removes weren't.
Yeah, of course. Same. Looking for card removes, but buying
Sorry, I'm
anything
not
else every
following. Of
time.
like, okay, so it's I'm going to shops for removals in a sense, whether that removal is either just a normal card removal or if it's the med kit to be
Yeah,
a double status removal essentially.
yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah.
Like I once had True Grit Plus and Burning Pact, was looking for Abacus more than Medkit. Yeah, fair, fair, fair. Great block plan with small deck nonsense. Removals are free if you have Burning Pact. Yeah, in a sense. A little slow sometimes, but certainly free enough.
But not if you're playing corruption.
Yeah,
So Burning Pact can remove
true.
one or
Yeah,
two.
if your pact goes away too fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
And actually, that is an interesting question of when do you play corruption, right? I feel like that's sort of the big question for any corruption deck is how soon is too soon to drop it, and the answer, of course, changes in every fight. So I'm curious to hear from those of you who did have a corruption. Did you play it slash when did you play it in the heart fight? Um, of like, was it a right away? I want to get my deck as small as possible, as fast as possible. Was it I'm holding off on this for a while to get things consistent work first and keep my block around and set stuff up? Was it did you even exhaust corruption in the first place and say I don't want to Like I need to keep my block around. Maybe that was like part of the infinite. I know it was for at least some people did madness on shrug as part of their infinite. Um, Footlock saying played on site in every fight except Time Eater never and Heart second deck cycle. Fair. Time Eater was probably a mistake. You think you should have dropped it in Time Eater? What changed your mind on that one? I was saying was infinite, so I think I got to play it turn two. So you played it turn two. Fair, fair. Yeah, if you have a block positive infinite already without needing the skills to contribute to that, then yeah, just get it going ASAP. Taking 103 damage with 87 max HP changed my mind. Fair, fair. Thank you, fairy. Thank you, fairy. uh, Health positive enough. I mean, if it worked, it worked, right? Oh my gosh. Wow. Just skimming some of these. This was an interesting question for me. I remember debating this metallicized versus headbutt a bit, at least a bit. Wet and I settled on the metallicized. I saw a bunch of people take the headbutt. I think it was like both of them were way better than skip in my opinion, and that's not to like shame the people who pick skip here. Some of them may have seen different card rewards even. Um, but yeah, metallicized owns versus the ghost, and that's what tipped the scales for us. Is ghost and sentries were two very scary fights, and metallicized being great in both of them. Headbutt is a lot of deck consistency as well, of just being able to headbutt your good damage. Also nice versus the ghost, also nice versus the sentries. Not as much, um, but uh, but yeah, it certainly does help. Um, I don't
Yeah,
know
but there's
whether to
also a
say headbutt is an
question.
underrated card because I feel like it's appreciated by a lot of people, but I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah,
low light.
true.
Sorry.
But there's also the question because when I took the astrolabe, I got the combust plus, and
Mm-hmm.
combust and metallicize as two powers that are, of course, good in Act One. But then when I got to Act Two, I was like, I have a lot of powers that I don't want to play that clutter my deck. So I think I removed one of them. But I think that taking metallicize was a mistake from me because I already had combust, and taking one more power that does something for a couple of fights and then does nothing and clutters my deck was a mistake. So I think
Mm-hmm.
headbutt is a better case there if you already have have a combust. And also, yeah, combust
I
with
can see
feed
that.
is a bit awkward. Yes, it was. And
Yeah.
also Infernal Blade
Uh,
that hated me the whole run,
it sounded like it hated a
literally.
lot of people from the sounds of
Yeah.
it. I'm curious again for the boss swappers in the crew. How often did you find you were playing combust in Act One versus holding off to try to line up feed, and also generally sustain? Yeah, because combust is anti sustain. Bleh. Swap and have no sustain. And so metallicize there for chip. Yeah, I can see that argument as well. Yeah, curious to hear from people who did swap of how you found combust played, and was it meaningful, was it annoying, was it somewhere in between?
It wasn't meaningful. I played it like twice or three times. It didn't stop me from feeding, I remember, but it didn't do a lot for me. So,
Fair enough. Yeah, Queem
yeah.
saying played in fights that mattered. Fair enough. Now saying maybe I got lucky in fight RNG but played fine with feed. Hey, if you lucked out, you lucked out. Yeah. um Yeah, I know sometimes it can be tricky to line up of like I'm drawing feed next turn, but combust is killing this turn automatically, and there's nothing I can do about it except maybe burn a potion that would not be worth it for a couple points of max. Um, but I can't really argue with results. I'm just skimming the rest of the Act One summary here to see if there's any other like notable decision points I can remember. Um, if there's
So
any
this
that
nature
anybody else sees
was
or
what?
remembers, of course.
Floor 12.
Yeah, interesting buy. Who was that?
I mean, if you have a champion's belt, if you have a thunderclap, maybe then sadistic nature is half decent.
That was Paulil. Made it to the heart. And there we are. Came late, just
Oh,
caught up.
hi.
Sadistic, good with Champ's Belt, like we were just saying. Yeah. Shockwaves, corruption, feel no pain. Inconsistent AoE 21. No good into the heart. Fair. Um, yeah, it can be tough to work on Ironclad, but with Champ's Belt, I can definitely see it way more than usual.
Yeah.
Um, and if it's an early enough pickup, like it's literally floor 12, right? No good into the heart. Oh no, if it was good enough for the rest of the lead up to the heart, sometimes that can be worth it anyway. In hindsight, do you think you would pick it again in that spot? Like, did it do enough work throughout the run, or was it just sort of it seemed like it would be good with all this stuff, but then just kind of was there and not really worth the price? Um, just generally, how do you think it felt? Good, but you need something else for high HP enemies. Fair, yeah, as like a early game boost, but does not come with baked in scaling. Um, And if it's a good enough early boost, I find that can almost lead to a false sense of security sometimes. Like, I had to really train myself out of this with Hyper Beam, especially on defect, of like, it's can be so comfy in hallways that it makes you feel like your deck is better than it is, and like
Mm-hmm.
intellectually it's like, oh, this is, I need other stuff for bosses, but you kind of get into this like, yeah, I'm fine, everything's dying, woo, and then you just get completely owned because not all fights work like that. And I can easily see sadistic nature having the same problem. Yeah, crushed every enemy under 100 HP, and then a big giant head or something comes along and you're like, oh crap, what do I do, where's my scaling?
Yeah.
Gosh.
I hate Hyper Beam, honestly. Like, I love it, but I hate
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. It's funny in the last seed, for I know at least some people who did two transforms at the Jax event transformed into Hyper Beam and Hyper Beam, depending on the path you took to get there. It's a
Funny.
funny guy. Funny guy. Last defect seed. Giant Head was literally free. This message sponsored by Infinite Gang. Infinite
Yeah.
Gang being again a large chunk of the winning decks, Infinite in one sense or another. Um, yeah, small deck clad, early corruption. What are you gonna do, right? Um, yeah, I don't know if there's a ton else here worth highlighting. Um, but I guess open floor if anyone else had either things they wanted to highlight about their own runs or runs that they saw from others, questions that you saw in the sheet, questions that you had about, hey, I did this and it felt weird. What would other people have done in this situation? Just sort of general open floor, for if you use corruption to exhaust, what's the common block plan for infinites against the heart? Um,
Face tank.
well, anyone? Sorry, face tank. I mean, for
Face tank.
people who
Yeah.
had a giant face to tank with, that is legitimately one of them.
Yeah.
Or is the
There was one barricade, I think, but I didn't even see it. I was looking at
yeah, I
the
think it'd be
cards, and
like
there
one
was
person
one
would have a
barricade.
barricade.
Yeah, and lost and won.
Um,
Yeah,
yeah, Toasty. There's a block plan from Toasty. Fairy and a blood potion is just eat a whole bunch of damage to your face and then win anyway. So that's one option. For boss swap into Labe, what's considered best to transform to strike one defend?
pretty
I
much.
think map dependent. Yeah. Um, if it was like a Guardian Act, I might consider three strike if I was feeling especially greedy and the pathing lined up for it.
Hmm.
But yeah, in general, I think I am no expert, so if other people have other opinions, I would love to hear them. But yeah. Like saying your plan was to block first cycle the old fashioned way, second cycle by exhausting everything, third cycle just kill. Fair. We're saying had calipers were not good. I mean, in general, I think that's fair. For the heart, at least sometimes, maybe not in your situation, but at least sometimes calipers can be a good way to like if you're going infinite anyway, you go infinite in a block positive type of way on turn one, bank a shit ton of block, and then exhaust the rest of your deck down, and then you don't really have a perpetual block plan for later turns, but it doesn't matter because you have 999 and that carries you over um, to later on. I was saying didn't have a plan until it found dual wield and Act 4 shop, dual wield Reaper, yeah. HP Goper archetype. um, yeah. Papa had an interesting one. Dual wielding Metallicize in the heart fight, 20 passive block per turn. Obviously, the heart does more than 20, but sort of a funny component to that. And I think he had barricade as well to keep it around. Yeah, barricade. So that was an interesting approach. Like saying skipped Reaper with no strength and an infinite. Still wonder if I should have taken it. For me, that's a question of like it's the eternal question of Spire of can I afford to click this, right? Of Reaper with no strength is like fine, I guess. It still does something. It's not a very good card, but it's a card. It's sort of like it feels sacrilegious to compare it to something like a thunderclap, but in terms of the immediate term, it's sort of in that bucket in my mind of like it does a bit. It helps. It's nice. It's just the problem with it is that thunderclap is still thunderclap into acts 3 and 4 and reaper is fucking broken into acts 3 and 4. And
And
so if you
Reaper
can
also
afford to
exhausts.
carry it around in the early game, yeah, and it exhausts, it gets out of your way when that matters. You do have to pay 2 to play it, and sometimes that can be prohibitive, especially if you are still on 3 energy. But yeah, if you can get out of your deck, it gets out of the way.
Yeah,
And
I
then
mean, it
late
also
game,
works with Dark
it's
Embrace, Feel
just
No Pain, with all this.
ridiculously stupid. Yeah. Yeah, like Rist is saying, it's like Reaper lets you do ridiculous things like just take, let's find that count again. 129 damage to the heart. Not in a feed deck, not in the lab swap, just, normal clad, casually taking 129 to the face and winning because you can just Reaper it all back up again. Um, so if the logic is it's an infinite, I think to the light's point, it gets out of the way. Merle agreeing, Reaper is just good. It's the Reaper card. It says Reaper on it. It lets you heal for approximately 11 billion when 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 things get properly scaling to the moon late game. Um, so yeah, if like in my mind, it's very close to a Sea Reaper Click Reaper, unless I expect that that's going to get me owned within the next handful of floors. Which sometimes that happens. Sometimes you're in like a really low roll situation, you have a forced elite coming up or something, and you need the immediate boost that will let you get through it in one piece, and that is sad. But otherwise, in my opinion at least, it's take it when you can, just because the chance that it becomes insane is pretty high. If other people have other opinions on that, again, by all means, but that is my 2 cents for what it's worth.
I think Reaper is the
Now that
worst
we've
upgrade in the
fully
game.
discussed the it's not great. It's certainly not great. I think there are arguably some upgrades that actively make their cards worse,
I
though,
mean,
when
metamorphosis
you
and
upgrade them,
stuff,
at least
but
situationally.
yeah.
Sorry?
Metamorphosis is a bad
Sorry,
upgrade.
what did you say?
Sorry?
What did you prophecy? I
Metamorphosis.
is a bad upgrade. Oh,
Metamor-
metamorphosis. Yeah,
yeah,
can
yeah.
be. Can be good, can be bad.
But Reaper
The
is
one that
just
came to mind
useless
first
upgrade.
for me actually was kind of funny to be saying this in a conversation about Reaper, but the one that came to mind first for me was actually Limit Break. Is a lot of the like sometimes it's very funny, right? Sometimes you get a tight deck going, maybe something with headbutts. You get Limit Break scaling repeatedly and quickly, and you can build up to silly numbers. If you have Reaper in the deck, silly numbers are also great. But I feel like a lot of the time, one limit break play is enough strength to do what your
I
deck
agree.
needs to do. And then on the reshuffle, you would rather just draw cards that let you use all of that strength rather than going from very, very big winning number to even bigger, even winninger number. And so Limit Break, I find, is one of those upgrades that a lot of the time it just feels like it hurts my deck's consistency more than it helps.
Yeah.
Flintlock saying, in hindsight, would never have healed more than 9 in any fight that mattered. Not having it made me faster, but not blind to the enormous potential for upside. Yeah, fair. And I think there's maybe also something to. I don't know if there are any other card rewards that you saw and skipped over that would have popped off had you had a Reaper in your deck. Is also like a potential thing there. Um, yeah, food for thought. It certainly did pop off for a bunch of folks on this seed. We saw earlier everyone who had Reaper also found Demon form. Um, so there's that. There's that for what it's worth. I might have taken Demon form over Second Embrace. Fair. Yeah, can be a little hard to land, but can also be very fun. And with a Reaper in the deck, very safety net e. Especially if you've got the dual wield for it as well, which I know a number of people had that little combo going. Yeah. Any other sort of thoughts, questions, conversation starters in general from the crowd? Locke saying have to sleep. One thing I noticed: a lot of players went infinite in the seed, but no players found Shuriken, Kunai, and Chaku, Pen Ornamental Fan. Yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to have Ninja Relics to make that kind of small deck play good. Right? They obviously pop off more if you're playing a billion cards per turn, but I mean, if you're playing a billion cards per turn, you kind of just win, right? Of Shuriken makes it faster, but as long as you're block positive at the very least. There was a fan in a shop. Did anybody buy it? Nope. Nobody bought it. Nobody who submitted run history at least bought it. So at least one person bought it. Infinite with no block. Yeah, that'll happen sometimes. Unfortunate. Yeah, fun little seed. Died to heart or something. That is, I feel like often the case for decks that are infinite with no block. Of that is the one giant wall that you will hit with beat of death and yeah, slow and damage cap and
Yeah.
status cards sometimes getting in the way and yeah, all the wonderful things that the heart does. Yeah, just scrolling the comments. Pullet saying took potions for the bonus to try something new, saved me lots of HP into the burning elite. Were you one of the people who took the insane path Act One into the burner? I was also on that path, and somebody told me it was insane. So um, there's that. I definitely was considering potions at first. Of like, it's a nice short term boost into an aggressive path with early elites. Of it's sort of a like temp HP slash consistency ad um, in the early game, which I think is kind of underrated in general. Like, it's not the best Meow option, but it's certainly not bad. And as you say, it put in work in your run at the very least. Um, so that's cool to hear. Lost 6 HP into Strength Sentries because of Heart of Iron. Nice. Nice. That is
Amazing.
a good potion for
Yeah.
sentries. Yeah. Hell yeah. Um, yeah. When we're talking about block consistency, who's this person? Velati. Um, saying, yeah, never found a consistent way to block, even with a ton of max HP. Just getting owned by max HP Giant Head, since too slow and not inconsistent block is can be a tough solve sometimes. Getting 3 potions when you have 2 slots feels gross. It's not that gross to me because a lot of the time, like one, I mean, sometimes there's a fruit juice, but a lot of the time one of them is just like underwhelming. And like, I have 3 potions, but one of them is a dex pot. Like, sure, I'll just take the other 2, and I'm not mad about it. Um, it's
I
it's
mean,
a
three is
similar
better
kind
than
of
two.
like I'm in a shop and I can afford some of these potions, but not all of them. It's take your pick kind of thing. of knowing that I could have all three on a lower ascension. Like whatever, I don't play on lower ascension. It doesn't tend to bug me the same way. Thanks for the lurk, Saf. Hope you're doing well. Um, so this is actually a good question prompt from I don't know how to pronounce that. Iayui. If you're there, please correct me on that one. But deciding between Labe and P-Box when they're offered together. Um, so for anyone who was in the Bash upgrade camp, or I guess the other camps too of potion slash max HP, anyone who saw that choice between Labe and P-Box, um, what was your logic for one over the other? I know I saw a couple people who picked Labe there, and their logic was that the defends were better than average with corruption, and the strikes were better than average with strike dummy, and just the like consistency ad of like, okay, the basics are actually pretty good here was was the thing. Um, there was more to it. This was we discussed a bit in Discord as well. I'm trying to remember. Maybe I should just try. Nope, I can't pull up the thread. Uh, Actually, maybe I should do that. I should make separate threads for each seed of the week discussion so I can look at the old ones without spoiling myself on the new ones. Thinking. Hell yeah. Okay. For
That's a good
next week,
idea. Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
But anyway, my point is, um, yeah, there was discussion about why Labe over P box there, and that was certainly part of it. Of um, basics are better than average. For the people who picked P box, I'm curious to hear your reasoning on that
I
one.
think they had
And if
ceramic
anyone is
fish
in
as
the
well.
Discord and oh yeah, fish plays in for sure.
Yeah.
If anyone is in the Discord and is not dodging spoilers for the current seed, you can search the Seed of the Week spoilers channel for links. I think I posted clips of a couple people talking through their logic for that particular choice. Um, yeah, if anyone else wants to weigh in. So, Ceramic Fish speaking for the box. Really must sleep. Thanks for the recap stream. Good luck with the silent run. Thank you for the good luck. Thank
Thank
you
you.
for the sub again, and have a good rest of your night. Hermione's saying, main concern for me with P-Box on Clad is usually lack of block. Already had two shrugs and a metallicized, so the box seemed fine. Fair enough. Watching Papa and Book VODs and their reasoning was box is good. I mean, it certainly can be. And I think in hindsight, this particular box helped a bunch of people go infinite much faster than they otherwise would have been able to. So there's that as well for the Infinite Monkeys gang. um, E-Box is usually good, especially on Silent and Defect. I think it's a little bit of a harder sell on the other two, but yeah, confuses me is a good way to put it. It confuses me too. Um, yeah, I definitely would have been in Team Lab on that one over Team P Box. Would have been because Hexa again, rip. On Silent, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
It is.
Um, on
Also
Clad,
on defect.
yeah, and Defect, yeah, yeah. Clad Watcher, it's yeah, confusing. Um, yeah. What else is play stupid cards into writhing masses, win stupid prizes, die. I think we've all been there at least once. um, Pathing too aggressively, yeah. Winning high roll seeds isn't free. Actually, this is something I think is worth mentioning. Because like I've if you guys have seen me like go on this tirade in a bunch of people's chats of like take credit for your wins, people, of just in general, I think it's very tempting to brush stuff off as, oh, this was just a high roll, oh, this was just a free win. And when we're doing it to ourselves in just like our own unseated runs, that's still not great. Like, pat yourself on the back where it's deserved of, even if something is a high roll, you still have most of the time have to pilot it until it becomes a high roll, and like that takes skill that's worth giving yourself credit for. And on but like that comes into extra sharp focus with seed of the week stuff of, you know, yeah, it's a high roll seed, but it's not free. It's, you know, none of this is free. You can't say like I got feed from Niao, therefore free run, because it wasn't, right? It's a 50-50 run at that point by the stats that were submitted. And so like it's it's tempting sometimes to just brush off as, oh, this was just a high roll, but I think it's extra important in this context, but important across the board as well, to recognize y'all are skilled players. Like, not anyone can win a run even with the tools that you get handed. Yeah, sure, sometimes they're better than average, sometimes it's easier than average, but like, take credit for your wins, people. Like, legitimately good job.
Yeah.
And you know, the flip side of that being, you know, to anybody who didn't pull out a win, doesn't mean that you completely threw the run. Doesn't mean that you're a horrible player. Um, it just means that you didn't get this one. And there are some things that you can learn from that. There's certainly a couple things that I learned from my own loss on this seed. Yeah, second relic dead branch, so actually free, is certainly a hell of a lot easier than normal, but still not free. Still not like basically nothing is free on A20. Maybe like an extremely busted P box swap, you could argue, but like, yeah, I don't know. Well worth recognizing what worked. Yeah, exactly. Is highlighting what was good about it, what choices played into the win. Um, and again, on the flip side of if you didn't get a win, that's fine too. Hard game is hard more at 11. Like it's just how the Spire do sometimes, right? And it's really cool to see all the participation in Seed of the Week, and this is just general blanket encouragement and thumbs up and stuff for anybody who might be second guessing. Like, I haven't gotten a single Seed of the Week win yet. Period. That's cool. That's fine. I'm learning from other runs and seeing like, you know, where were my biggest pivot points here. Positive thinking. The fuck, isn't Spire Twitch supposed to be toxic or something? God. Uh, yeah,
I mean,
that's
just get
my
that
that's my
branch in every
little
run.
rant.
What's your problem?
Yeah, just find the branch. Good
Yeah.
players find the dead branch. Clearly, all of us are terrible players because we didn't find one this run. Next one, we'll see. Oh gosh,
Yeah.
psychopath best path. Um, yeah, slow being a theme a lot of the time with losses of, you know, infinite, but too slow to get going with it. I don't know if anyone who was in the infinite camp has thoughts on acceleration there. Fully admittedly, I am not. I don't enjoy playing infinite, so I don't have a lot of expertise with them and knowing like how to best, you know, set things up to be fast enough and etc. So if anyone has thoughts again on the like important pivot points that helped in your own runs or in other runs that you saw, I would be very curious to hear them. Um, yeah, didn't have a block solution to the hard anyway. Again, yeah, slow and wear block. Um, yeah. Went to a million shops looking for Abacus medkit, rage barricade, found none. How does the ironclad block? Uh, question of the ages. Yeah, generally, generally, I think a pretty cool seed. I hope you guys had fun with it as well.
It was amazing. Yeah.
Even if you didn't get the dub this time, it was amazing. Hell yeah, love to see it. Um, Probably a good place to wrap it up, unless anybody has other closing sort of thoughts, questions, topic prompts, highlights,
I have a
points of
closing
interest.
cat. She's sleeping.
Closing cat. Oh, baby.
She's
Sleepy baby. What's your cat's name again? I forget.
she's Gretchen. Gretchen.
Gretchen. Hello,
Yeah.
sleepy Gretchen.
She is sleeping.
You are
She's so
you are
cute. I
loved.
have another one, but she hates people, so I can show her.
Fair.
She'll kill me. She last week she beat me in my hand, and my hand wasn't working for 3 days, and I was taking
Oh god.
antibiotics because she was just
Oh
not
no.
happy with me trying to give
Oh
her a
my god.
pill. But this one is amazing. This one I
Oh
love.
gosh.
I love both of
For
them.
your own
It's,
good, cat, please, I promise.
yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
gosh.
Okay.
All right.
So thank you once again for having
Well,
me. Thank you for having this seat of the week. This discussion is amazing,
yeah.
and hope to see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for popping in. So I'm not just talking to myself this time. And again, if anyone else wants to pop in the future, it's very easy, I promise. And I do
Yeah.
bite. See, the week is fun. Thanks. Hell yeah. New Silent Seed is up for anyone who hasn't seen it yet. I will be taking a crack at it myself in a couple hours after dinner. Just me this time, not Team Not Dork. So wish me luck. Fingers crossed.
I will be
Um,
playing it tomorrow
and for
because
good
it's
luck
already
with your
midnight.
run when you get to it as well. Then
Thank you. Good luck to you as well.
I'll do the obligatory Discord plug for anyone who isn't in. If you want Seed of the Week, pings, info, place to discuss spoilers, place to see these data things as they come in for the new run instead of waiting for the recap streams. That is the best place to do it. And who is live? Please tell me someone is. Merle is live. Perfect. Alrighty. Let's go say hello to Merle then, and I will hopefully see you guys again later. Thanks for hanging out, and
Bye. Good night.
I should open his fucking. I always forget to open the tab and another tab before I click the thing, and of course now it's an ad that's going there, so I have to vamp for a few more seconds than I otherwise would, or the raid's gonna trigger, and then the ad's still gonna be playing while the raid does the thing. I don't know. Why does Twitch set up like this? Why doesn't it just move the broadcaster over with the raid as well? I will
This
never
is, yeah.
understand. It's such a weird decision. But it's the one they made, so it's the one we gotta live with. Anyway, okay. That's it now for me. See you guys
Bye.
later. Thanks again.
Bye. Bye.